Up Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in Singapore. We are The Big Show, and today we have as our guest award-winning psychologist from the therapy room, Dr. Geraldine Tan. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr.
Morning,
Jerry.
Jerry.
You're looking lovely today, and we're talking about triangulation.
Yes.
So
and it's not a math triangulation.
Oh, I thought it's when you get 3 points and try and find your wife because she's lost.
No.
You triangulate where she might be.
So what is triangulation?
Triangulation in psychology is to triangulate a person into a quarrel, a situation, and it's not very pleasant. And I suspect that many of us have experienced this at one point or another, whether at work, at home. You know, it can be very simple. It can be like you're talking to your friend, right? You're having a conversation and you're giving an opinion about something and you go, hey, you also agree, right? It can be as innocuous as that.
Wow. Okay.
You know, and the person feels compelled and obliged to agree with you, but then alienating the other party that is in the conversation.
So are there always three, I beg your pardon, are there always three people involved in triangulation?
There are three parts. That means
right.
at least three groups or three parties. So there's one person that would do the triangulation, trying to ally another group perhaps to set that group against another group. It is also possible.
So two people taking two parties or 2 points taking the same side, alienating one other. Okay, got it.
I'll never be
Yes.
caught in a situation like
Well,
this. You know why?
why?
Too complicated for me.
No, but I can see it happening. I can see it happening in quarrels where you
Yes.
try to get people on your
Yes.
side.
Yes.
That's
know what I
not
mean?
that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets a little bit more cynical. So we'll talk about the more cynical one later on. But, you know, we've got
Excuse
into
me.
such situations at one point or another, you know, with our friends, with our family members, you know, parents trying to get one of the children to agree with them. Yeah.
Is it always a negative situation though? Can it ever be positive?
If it's positive, we won't be talking about it. You know, everybody come, let's enjoy ourselves.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But can it be good and you be triangulated? I don't think it would be called triangulation then. The triangulation is a little bit more negative, a little bit
Negative.
more cynical.
Sounds very political.
It does sound very political.
I'm sure political parties use triangulation,
I'm
no?
sure. So triangulation is a term that is not a disorder, it's not a diagnosis, but it's a way of doing things. So yes, I suppose it can be applied in different situations.
Okay,
it.
let's continue to talk to Jerry on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Love, All for Nothing on Kiss 92.
It's a mint if you want.
So Jerry, triangulation. How? So you're saying it could happen in the home where mom and dad are having a discussion, and you pull the kids in and try to get them on your side,
Yes.
forcing
Yes.
them to choose.
True.
Ooh.
True. So it could so if we
That's not
move into
nice.
a little bit more you know, cynical, it could be, oh, if you don't agree with me, it means that you don't care about me, you don't love me, you know, and that whole talk about why did I bring you up? You know, you should be in agreement with me. Yeah.
Emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
Emotional blackmail.
And I see a lot of that happening during divorce.
Yes. So
Right.
during divorce, there's something called parent alienation syndrome. PAS. It is not a disorder that is in our books. It's not something that we diagnose. So it's very difficult to prove or disprove in court, but we can always raise it up. But it's very terrible when children are caught in this situation because children are being fed from one parent to the child that your other parent is so horrible, so bad, and basically alienating the child from the other parent and telling falsehoods, gaslighting.
Okay, Kiss 92 listeners who are in that situation right now, this is the
Yeah.
chance for you to ask Jerry some
Your
questions
Yes,
questions, yeah.
please,
on
yeah.
our Facebook or Instagram or YouTube.
Or,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I actually have a question for Jerry. Jerry, as a psychologist, have you ever been into court in a divorce situation like that where the child has been forced to choose between parents?
So I don't go into court. I see the children, and it's really difficult because sometimes we also get into that whole triangulated space, and it's really not nice. One parent would say everything bad about the other parent. The other parent would say, I didn't do it. So both parents appear to be victims, and we have to then check in with the child, observe the child, do therapy with the child. So we basically see the child for a few sessions, interview the parents, and then try and find out the actual story, which is sometimes not forthcoming, and sometimes the children are really afraid of the parent. That means the parent is trying to do the PAS, and the child is stuck because already the loyalty is split. But when they are caught with one parent and this parent is so dominant and feeding them all these, what are they supposed to do? They are with that parent. In order to survive with that parent, they have to adhere because they are still dependent on the parent.
Couldn't triangulation actually work in a good way? Just to give you an example. Parent wants to live on their own even though they're old and frail. One child says, no, why don't you come live with me? That child then garners the support of the other children, or the other child, you say there are two kids, the other child to sort of convince that parent to move in with the child. Isn't that positive triangulation?
Well, that's not triangulation. So triangulation
That's an
has
intervention.
Yeah. So, intervention, or like you say, it's a very positive thing. Triangulation has this notion, this concept of I want to exclude you. And there's that threat there, and some manipulation. So it's a more cynical sort of idea.
I get it now.
Actually, I'm thinking about these situations, right? I mean, why is it so difficult, like for the courts, for example, sometimes, right? As in, like, if they are to determine who the child is going to be living with, let's say,
right.
who's going to get custody.
Care and control.
I think at the end of the day, what the court needs to do is just ask the kid, who would you like to stay with?
They
They
do.
do.
But like Dr. Jerry says, and I've seen a lot of situations like this, Dr. Jerry says the child gets convinced by the more powerful parent, because there's
Okay.
always
Yeah.
one more convincing parent,
Right.
that you are going to come with me or else. You know what I mean? You're not. There's a lot of that threats. Those threats that go on.
If you stay with mommy, you're not going to see me. You might see me
Yeah,
once every 14
if the child
days.
falls for it, then okay, so be it.
No, but it's
because if not-
It's not always for the best of the child.
I think whatever it is, just leave it to the child.
No, the child
to,
cannot
to,
make that
to
decision.
choose.
No.
Child
It's
You know what I
actually
mean?
very difficult, Glenn.
Yeah.
I'll explain a situation that I was in. So I was dealing with parent alienation, very clear cut to me. Father was alienated. Mother was the one looking after the child. This child is maybe about 10, 11 years old, or maybe, 10, 11 years old. So not very old, very dependent on the parent, right? Either parent that takes him. And the mom realized that I was picking up, certain vibes. And the child was telling me certain things. So she did this. So I got triangulated where in parent alienation, where, if the parent that is doing the PAS realize that you're being an ally to the other parent, they
Yeah.
will start to also park you in that category. So I was parked in the other category, the other camp, but the courts had wanted the child to be assessed and seen. So what this mother did, was to then ensure that she arranged for a play date with the child on the same day that I'm supposed to see the child.
So that you couldn't see her.
So that she brought him, and he's very angry that he has to come to me, and she
Because
will go,
it's played it.
see, you have to come to therapy. I don't have a choice.
You miss your play
But
date
he-
with your friend.
He's missing his play date. So he always comes angry, and Auntie Jerry becomes the
The bad person.
enemy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she can engineer.
Very
So this-
manipulative.
Yes.
Yeah, parents
at
can
the
be so
end of the
awful.
day, I can't see the child. Yes. Or I see the child in a state where he is so angry, I'm unable to get any information whatsoever.
So it's because
Because-
of you that I'm not getting
Yes.
to play with my friends.
So
Yes.
you see, I'm saying the
Yes.
kids
So
are very smart.
manipulate-
No, just leave it to the kids.
They're
No,
not.
they're not.
The kids
They're
are
being
very clever. It's
manipulated.
like, who do you want to be with,
They're not
mommy or
old-
daddy?
they're not
I
old
want
enough
to
to
be
make
with
that
mommy.
decision.
Okay,
Traffic,
you stay
traffic,
with
traffic.
mommy then. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On Loyang Avenue towards Pasir Ris Drive 1, this is after Old Tampines Road. A vehicle has broken down there. If you spot anything else, WhatsApp it in to 88550920. Stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today and every Tuesday is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. And today we are talking about strangulation. Triangulation.
Triangulation. So, Dr. Jerry.
When I was doing it, I knew you would come up with strangulation. I was like, okay, let me wait for it.
Because sometimes, because of triangulation, you feel
Feel like
strangling someone.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
So, Dr. Jerry, you were talking about triangulation in the home, especially when it comes to divorces and parents using the kids and their emotions. What about triangulation at work? Does that happen?
At
It's
work,
got to.
of course, it does, and sometimes it's in the most devious or dirty way, right? Because one of the it just takes one person to then split the team, as we call it. So you tell one party, you spread a rumor, right? You tell one party falsehood about another team, and the other team is how bad, or the other group is how bad, and that how victimized you are or how bad you are. And because it is so bad, this group of people, this person does not verify with the other party. So what happens is then you get two camps. You split the team, you split the organization, you split the company. And, things, well, we all have our responsibility. Work gets done, but the dynamic starts to shift, and it's not
Yeah.
very pleasant.
Been there.
So
yeah.
how do we prevent triangulation? Because you were saying if the one team doesn't verify whether something is the truth, then
Yep.
obviously things are going to get triangulated. But how do we
Yes.
prevent that?
So good communication. So one big thing that you hear, right, is good communication to verify with the other parties. If I were to look at even in the therapeutic setting, so in the hospitals, we have had take one group of them eating disorder clients or eating disorder patients in the hospitals. They would tell their attending doctor one story, speak ill of the nurses, and then tell the dietitian something, but tell the therapist how bad the dietitian is. So we are all like not in sync anymore. The entire team that is supposed to look after the patient gets split.
Right.
But I mean, it's yeah. Well, no,
Okay,
carry on.
let's
Yeah,
continue to talk
okay.
about this on The Big Show TV. The time is 8:18.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian. This is your final chance.
A professional setting like that, I mean, the patient is the most important part of the puzzle, right? I mean, that kind of
Yep.
thing shouldn't happen.
Yep. But if the patient wants something, and say, perhaps I don't want to eat, eating disorder, anorexia, I don't want to eat. And they say, oh, but the dietitian is being such a, and they love to use the F word, the B word, whatever it is.
Wow.
And young adults or young teens, their language. And they would say how bad this person is to prevent them. And they are very intelligent, so they come up with all the different logics. And, we are sitting there and trying to say, okay, we'll talk to the other person. Oh, you don't need to. I've already spoken and it doesn't get through. And the mood deteriorates. So they start to have depressive symptoms, or it does comorbid with depression. So, then we are inclined to say, oh dear, you're put in such a difficult position. So so if we don't start talking, so if the team does not start talking, then we are inclined to believe the patient, which Angel has rightly put, is the key person in this situation and is the one that has most say.
Yeah.
The most powerful one.
Jerry, triangulation in therapy, right? You were mentioning just now that child with the divorce and how the mother put you in the other camp. Very interesting.
Yes.
Matthew has asked the question: how do you then handle that? What do you how do you settle that problem?
As a therapist.
Yeah, so we can only submit what we have, the information that we have, and it's so once we write the report, it's up to the judge to make that judgment call.
Do you include
Right,
things in the report like the mother, this
my
particular
observation?
situation?
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
Saying that she purposely arranged for something else so that the child
I didn't say she purposely. She
Okay.
arranged it.
You say
So
she
it's very
arranged.
factual.
She did it on purpose. No, she did it on purpose. That's for
course she-
sure.
I mean, we all
So
know
I
clear.
know
that.
she did it on purpose.
Okay.
Because if it occurs once, it may be a coincidence. She did it 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So then the judge will take a look at all this, the whole situation, and make the
Yes.
judgment for himself, right?
Yes. Yes.
So wait. So we're talking about family court here, is it?
Yeah, family
Yeah.
court.
Because there are different types of
Yeah,
courts.
yeah,
So
yeah.
this
Yes,
is a
family court.
family court.
Yeah,
Family
Yeah.
court.
this
Yes.
comes under MCYS. as well,
MCYS.
yeah.
Jerry, what kind of people triangulate? Are they manipulative? Are they people who lack confidence and need to build a team around them?
Low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. What sort of people are they?
Absolutely. So they are very insecure people. So most of the time they cannot stand on their own. They don't trust themselves. So they need to pull other people in on their side. Those with personality disorders. So you have the antisocial personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder. What else are there?
They're pusillanimous.
What's that?
That's a new word.
Yeah, it's a new word.
It's our word of the day. They're pusillanimous. So this is
Cowardice.
particularly for a man, destitute of a manly or courageous strength and firmness of mind, of weak spirit and mean-spirited.
P-U-S-S-I.
No, one S.
Oh, P-U-S-I-L-A-N.
Double L. One S, double L. Yeah.
I-M-O-U-S.
Correct. Something like that, yes.
Pusillanimous.
Jerry's actually writing it down.
It's an
Pusillanimous.
adjective. Yeah, it's pusillanimous. It's lacking courage and being cowardly and being feeble with weakness of mind. Yeah. It's our word of the day.
Okay.
Do these
Okay.
people understand that they are triangulating?
Some of them do, but if they are stuck in their own world, if it is a disorder, then it is part of their whole repertoire of what their behavior is like. So even like borderline psychopaths, so they manipulate the environment to for themselves. So they have insight? That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Some of them might not have that great an insight, especially for those that have a personality disorder. Yeah, but they know this is something that they can do to get what they want.
They know they're good. They're good at getting people on their side, and they know that building that team will
Yeah.
help their mission.
Yes.
If we come across a person like this, right? Particularly someone who's trying to get us on their side to alienate someone
Yes.
else,
Yes.
how do we help them?
Help. We just don't triangulate with them.
Yeah, you see, you can just wipe your hands.
Yeah. Why do
That
we
doesn't
help them?
that doesn't solve the problem. They're just going to find someone else to come onto their side. What I'm saying is, how do we help these people? Is there a way to
Yes.
help them?
The thing is, sometimes the
Become a
one
circle.
that
We help
is-
them become a circle.
To hell with them. What do you want to help
yeah,
them some more?
exactly. No, these people are
So I said,
manipulated.
FD, he should have been a priest.
Yeah, but interesting, right? I like how Angel, she's really, really sharp. It's that circle and the circle of trust and the circle of embrace, right? So you don't want the sharp edges, you want that circle. The problem is the one that is being triangulated may not know that he or she is being triangulated. So it may be a bit difficult to help when you don't even know that you're being drawn into that whole triangulation process.
Because a bit slow.
but
No.
but do manipulative people, do only manipulative people triangulate? Can you be triangulated by someone you trust? In certain situations. You can, right?
Of course you could.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's-
You can put your trust in someone, and that's why you don't know that you're being triangulated. And nobody goes around with the labels
Yeah.
on their forehead. I've got BPD, I've got MPD, I've got antisocial. So you don't know who is out there and whether you are triangulated. And honestly, we do that playfully, like at the beginning of the whole session, right? We do that playfully, and I can go, Angel, you agree, right? You agree with me, right? And keep asking you for your agreement, maybe to just alienate the boys and say, oh, the boys are like that. Don't you agree, Angel? And, they will suddenly feel like, oh, I'm an outcast. But because you trust me, you agree with me, but you feel a little bit uncomfortable, you don't quite know what it is, but you just agree with me.
Yeah,
So-
you can be gullible and have everyone on your side
That's
because
true,
they
yeah.
trust you and they're like, oh no, I want to be with this.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
this gullible individual.
But this sounds like it happens a lot with children as well. Triangulation.
As in-
No, on the playground,
On the playground.
they're getting people on
In
their side in
school.
school. It's like that person said this, don't be their friend. That's triangulation, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's not that they are being cynical. The intent is very different.
It's innocent.
Okay, we're
yeah.
going back on the radio. Hold on, we'll talk about that on air.
Yeah.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the KJE towards the PIE after the Chua Chu Kang Drive exit, a vehicle's broken down. Also on the CTE towards the SLE at the Jalan Bukit Merah entrance, another broken down vehicle. And finally on the KJE towards the BKE at the Chua Chu Kang Road entrance, there is a breakdown there as well. For wherever you are today, please stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We're talking about triangulation with Dr. Geraldine Tan.
Yeah, and we have a WhatsApp message that came in. This person would like to stay anonymous, and they'd like to tell Dr. Jerry that triangulation happens very frequently with in-laws as well. I've had experiences with in-laws who speak ill of one parent indirectly to the young child, despite both husband and wife getting on well and parenting well, and also because of different beliefs, trying to indirectly tell the kid that the parent doesn't share the same belief is is a bad thing. Now, this even went down to the pet that they own. One owned cats and the other owned dogs, and questions had to be raised to the kids frequently which one they would like better because parents versus in-laws owned different pets.
Wow. Oh no,
ridiculous.
that's really uncomfortable for the child to be in. Okay. So, for the children, I'm glad that they bring it back to the parents. So open communication is very important in situations like that. So if you hear from one side, make sure you clarify on the other side. Importantly, we don't make any commitments. So in this situation, best case would be for the child to just keep quiet. If you feel that you're being triangulated, don't react. And don't give any commitment. So you don't agree with anything at that point in time. I know it is very difficult because you feel compelled to reply the person, but the last thing you want is to reply, and then this person use your words against you, and or use your words against the other person or the other party and say, see, even she is in agreement with me, even he is in agreement with me, so you're the bad one. So we don't want that.
Okay. Don't take sides.
Yeah.
So Jerry, when
this
it
is-
comes to people who triangulate, there is no way to treat them. Because we're saying it's part of another disorder.
We can. So so we know NPD is a little bit difficult. Narcissistic personality disorder, they might not have the insight. They might not want to come forward. But disorders like borderline personality disorder, eating disorder, they can be in therapy. We can use different therapeutic methods to help them. The embrace or the circle of trust, the circle of embrace comes in as you work together with your therapist. Yeah, so that is definitely possible.
But like I said, it's always connected to some other condition.
Triangulation.
Yeah.
Well, when it is so severe, yes,
Yeah. It's always part of
We are
another
still talking about the
condition.
parents, right?
Yeah, but
right now.
triangulation
Whether
can
it's
can
parent-
just be a manipulative, insecure
Exactly,
person
yeah.
without a disorder, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So it's not a disorder.
So it can be they can have a disorder. They need not have a disorder for triangulation to occur.
Okay.
They could just be bad people.
Yes, exactly. It could
Yeah.
just be people that, manipulate.
You should use shock
now
therapy
we
on them,
know.
actually.
No. But now we know what triangulation looks like. If we feel that we are in that position, step back, step away, because the one that is being triangulated sometimes doubt themselves. So you do need to check in with other people and have emotional support for yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
My
Don't
God.
isolate yourself.
It's a complicated world we
I
live
know.
in.
It's a
very
It's
complicated world.
complicated. Lots
Too
of terrible
complicated.
people out there.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us this morning. Any last
No
words?
worries. Yes, and for those that are feeling very triangulated, realize that they have been triangulated and angry. Here's what someone, I don't know who said this, but he says, a wise man was asked, what is anger? He gave a beautiful answer. It is punishment you give to yourself for somebody else's mistake.
Okay. Before we let you go, I do believe we have a question
Question of the day.
of the day. Go ahead.
Yes. Our question of the day is, when did Changi Airport open?
Ew. Okay.
When
All right.
did Changi Airport open? It's scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now.
Yeah, all you have to do is go to Facebook or YouTube, type in your answer there, and you could win for yourself a radio frequency treatment worth $388 from Follicle Hair Spa and Salon.
All right. Thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us.
Bye. See you next week.
All right, take
bye-bye.
care. Up next, we'll be joined by the senior transport correspondent at the Straits Times, Nian Tjoe, and we'll be talking about the massive jams at the causeway,
Yeah.
especially during the school holidays right
holidays.
now, and what you can do to avoid it. That's coming up next. Meantime, here's J Hope featuring J Cole on the street on Kiss 92.
Those massive jams over the weekend. My goodness.
I
yeah.
hear, you know what? You can actually take a train into JB.
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can.
5 minutes,
I
you're
didn't
there.
even know we had trains
Yep,
going into JB.
yep. Five minutes and you're in.
Morning, Nian
Good
Tjoe.
morning, Nian Tjoe. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
Come on in.
How was your Bali trip last week?
D- d-
He went to Malaysia. Oh, he went to Malaysia.
oh, there you go. You
Oh,
were away.
Malaysia.
Okay, yes.
I went to Malaysia over the weekend. Which part of Malaysia? KL?
Sepang.
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 Oh.
Fun.
Did you race any cars?
No, I drove my own slow car in.
Oh,
and
so
back.
no, but you went to Sepang. Did you
yeah,
go
to
on
use
the
the track,
track?
yes, yes,
Yeah, to use the track. With what car did you use the track?
My 16-year-old Toyota.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
16-year-old Toyota.
Yes.
Nice.
Wow, that's something.
nice.
Okay, let the man put his headphones on
Yes,
first.
yes.
Yeah, left is with the wire. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was good to get out.
Right?
Yeah.
And did you go over the weekend where you got caught in the jams?
No, it was fine. It was a Monday.
You went during the week.
Yeah, but I managed to lose my touch and go card, so I nearly did not come back.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
But
dear.
can just buy another one, right?
Cannot.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh,
What do you mean?
So at the counter there, they don't
you
sell.
go with the same one that you come in with? No.
They just stopped making them.
So how do you get out?
It's a fiasco.
If you lose it, how do you get out?
You ask a friend behind you if the guy is helpful. You pay.
Oh, wow.
I had some friends there, so. took the
Oh,
card, but
right.
it was-
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I
it
didn't
was
know that.
Jangan stress.
Wow.
crazy.
Jungle tension.
Jungle attention, people.
Very
Jungle
tension.
attention.
Wow, that's a good tip. So they don't make these touch and go cards anymore.
So officially, they were supposed to switch over to some new tech,
Yeah.
and then they blame it on COVID and the chip shortage. With
Malaysia.
reason.
Yeah.
But after that, they just stop making them, and then the only way to get,
Yeah.
if you must, somehow the scalpers have it.
So you're driving. Let's say you want to drive up to
Wow.
KL, you need to get through these toll booths as well. It's either you pay
Yes.
cash or
No,
have a
the first one at the custom at the checkpoint.
Yeah.
It's
already touch and
it's
go.
only touch and go.
Oh, there's no cash or
No,
anything. Oh
yeah.
my gosh!
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So along
I
the
don't
way,
think
how
a lot
many
of-
more toll booths do you have to go through?
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Two, right? At
Yeah.
least two, I think.
To get to KL, I think
To
it's
Two or
actually
three,
four. At
Four,
least
at
four.
least.
Yeah,
Four.
because you get on the east-west, north-south. So
Yeah.
So anyone who's listening in and wants to drive into Malaysia needs a touch and go.
Call a friend.
So if you're listening in now and you're about to head there and you're like in that line, if you
And
don't
you
have a
don't
car,
have a-
turn around.
Yeah.
So that means if they don't have a touch and go, they can't get
They
past the
can't get-
first.
So the practice solution seems to be, if you are one of the rare ones, is to ask the car behind you.
Okay, you can do that. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
But it's
It's a bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Promoting making friends.
Yeah.
Promoting,
yeah.
promoting making more kawan-kawan.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, we're going back on air. Here we go. Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. Our second guest for this morning is Nian Tjoe, who is the senior transport correspondent at the Straits Times. I got it right this time.
He's our car
Morning,
guy.
Nian Tjoe. Thanks for joining us. We missed you last week.
Yes. Sorry, I had to take leave.
Okay.
You
no
went to
worries.
KL.
Yes, I went to Malaysia. Yeah,
Okay.
just a short drive.
It's
I
actually nice, no, to just get away.
It is
I got
nice.
away over the weekend as well. Came back totally refreshed.
Yeah, it's nice to get away over the weekend. So you drove up to KL.
Yeah, specifically, I went just maybe 30 minutes away from KL. I went to Sepang.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. And we just found out on the Big Show TV a very interesting fact that if you're driving up to Malaysia and don't have a touch and go card, turn around because you need it
Technically, you can't get into Malaysia without the touch and go card.
at all. And they don't make them anymore.
Well, yeah, it's supposedly they put some on sale once in a while on their website.
Okay.
On the provider's website, but it comes out and it disappears immediately.
Well, we've
Everybody
actually got
buys one.
someone. We've got someone on our Facebook page,
Yeah.
Fiona, who said, but somewhere in JB, I heard you can buy them, or believe this, she's saying it here, or on Shopee, where you
Oh.
pay 3 to 4 times the actual
Yeah,
price.
but
Yeah,
to
but
get-
you are out there already.
Yeah.
What Shopee?
Yeah, you can't.
And
you
to
see?
get into Johor, you need the card. So you
Yeah.
can't go into Johor
No, but
and
what
buy a
she's
card.
saying is, if someone's planning to go into Johor now,
Oh,
you
I
buy
see,
it
I
off
see.
Shopee and then
Oh,
you go
right.
in.
Yeah, buy
Okay.
like maybe 10 touch and go cards.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Wow. So if they don't sell it, how do you top it up?
Well, topping up is not that difficult.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
Because at the stations or rather at the toll booths, you
Yeah.
can top it up.
You just
Okay.
pass it to them, they will top it up for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the other way is, of course, the petrol stations when you're in Malaysia. And you can actually do it on the app.
Oh, right. Okay.
there is
okay.
an app.
Just have a card. And you lost your card.
Yes, I lost.
How do you lose your car?
Well,
This
if he
is
knew
embarrassing.
how he lost it, he would know where it
He's
is.
going to tell us. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is
tell
this
us.
is bad. Cargo shorts.
Oh, it fell out of
man,
your
fell
shorts.
out.
Yeah, there are too many pockets. You thought I kept all my clothes in my pockets and what have you,
Yeah.
and then I go, okay, now I'm going to go home, and where is the touch and go card?
Yeah. My policy is all cards go in the wallet.
Yes.
But what I
yeah,
don't
that's right.
understand is everybody nowadays has apps that use NFC.
Yeah.
Why don't they just do an app with NFC and you use
You
your
wait,
phone? Because
you
chances
wait.
are you're not going to lose your phone.
Easy to say,
They will soon enough.
Yeah, I mean, when actually last year we did a story about this because the borders were open and everybody's like, oh yes, we're ready to go out. And one of the big problems is that the way touch and go cards are organized or designed is that they actually go dormant if you don't use it for I think it's 12
months, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, the borders were closed for most of us for what, 2 years?
So it's all yeah.
Everyone's cards are dead.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was a rush. Back then I thought it was smart. I bought a new one as I was writing the story, part
Right.
of work, right? And now I lost it.
Now you've got to go to the scalpers.
Yes.
or go
I
to
got to
Shopee.
tell you, there are people coming onto our Facebook page. You can get them at 7-Eleven stores in JB, apparently. Even Watson stores sell them.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I went to the wrong ones. I tried in KL.
Couldn't get it.
Sorry, on the way back from
Yeah.
KL. And I also went to two of them in Johor.
You couldn't get.
I
Couldn't get
couldn't
it.
get them.
Okay.
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 Stop telling
But it
lies.
is available. That means
It must
maybe.
be.
In
That must
Malaysia,
be.
that's the problem.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? How do you get
Yeah.
one here?
Okay.
Unless you have friends
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but today you want to talk about the March school holidays because we are in the middle of the holidays.
Yes.
And we have seen online how ridiculous the lines can get on the causeways. So you're going to tell us how to avoid those?
Yeah, give us one tip, and after that, we'll continue the rest of the conversation on the Big Show TV.
Well, you can't avoid those, but I guess you should go prepared.
Okay.
Prepared that you're going to wait
Yeah.
and make it worth your trip.
Prepared that you gotta
Gotta
wait.
wait.
He's like, I'm not giving you a tip. Just like have the snacks,
you-
have your
get those
water.
ready.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you go in thinking that I'm going to beat the jam, I'll start at 4. Well,
Everyone's got the
everyone
same
has the same
idea.
idea. I'm going to have 3. Somebody has the same idea too. So it's not going to work out.
How about just taking the train?
Because there is a train going to, but that only leads you to JB. That only leads you to JB.
I think that's not a bad idea especially if you're thinking of a short trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is most of us who drive up to Malaysia, you think, I'm going to make a road trip with a family or with friends, and you want to have that autonomy and just being able to carry your stuff, do things together.
Yeah.
Yeah, on those instances, maybe you want to drive because you want to drive.
Yeah. You want your own little space. Because my
Okay.
hairdresser travels up and down via the train every day.
Yeah,
it's a 5-minute trip.
It's very convenient.
Yeah, it's very
It's
quick.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay, up next, our very own Joshua Simon. Here's All I Wanna Do on Kiss 92.
Say people need to prepare before taking a road trip.
Yeah. What do they need?
I think we're talking about motorists here, right? So number one
Yeah.
is check that your vehicle is fit and ready. When I say fit and ready, I mean it's getting, well, you can do your basic pre-trip checks. But also, some things we tend to forget. The spare tire in the car,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, get that inflated. Make sure you still have your tools. Increasingly, we know of cars that need special tools to unlock the nuts.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
go, okay, I got the tire, then, oh, where's the tool? The other thing is more for legal reasons. Well, besides assuming you have your touch and go, like stick it to your body, put it in your wallet, as Glenn suggests, right?
Have like 5.
Yeah, 2 will do. The other thing is to make sure that you do have your vehicle lock card. So for years, we don't actually have a physical lock
Yeah,
card
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Get it printed out.
Why?
Because if lock cards and your insurance cover note, so that if you do get stopped or in unfortunate something happened and
Situation, yeah.
you know it's an accident or something like that, you need all these because even if it's to tow the vehicle back, the tow truck driver have to have all these documents. Otherwise, technically, who's to say this is not an authorized tow?
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
right.
So that's really important. We tend to forget, especially if we say that I'm just going up to Johor for a
I don't need
day
all that
trip.
stuff.
Yeah, it's a very short one. Well, all you need is something to happen, and you get caught in this. It's not a nice experience.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got your car checked, you've got your touch and go cards, you've got your log card and all that. What else?
I think you need music.
Yeah. Listen to Kiss
Lock
92.
it in to Kiss 92.
92.
All the great songs in one place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're with children, have a whole barrage of snacks, right, and water and stuff like that in the car because these traffic jams can get quite serious.
Yes, it's true. I mean, the other thing to do is also to look into increasingly you have, I mean, driving up today is very different from 20 years ago. You have on your phone access to real-time traffic conditions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there are navigation platforms that will tell you, hey, you can do a detour here, and take it with a. I'm quite serious about getting that mindset right, because if the navigation tells you to take a detour, make it an adventure, right? Look around. Hey, this is fun. There's a monkey on the road or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit. You take the stress out. If you're going there for leisure, why go with that heavy burden heart? Frustration, anger by the scalpers charging you for your touch and go cards and all that.
Yeah.
That's why I chant to myself at least.
It's an adventure.
Yes.
It's an adventure. Okay.
Because it can be an adventure driving up into Malaysia.
Yeah, I mean any drive. And
Yeah.
I remember during the lockdown, right? Just driving across our little island of Singapore, it can be a bit of an adventure versus being cooped up, right?
Yeah.
So this is just taking the idea a little bit further.
Yeah. It's like for me, if I ever did a Malaysia drive, I would not take the North-South Highway.
Yeah.
I'd take the coast road.
Yes.
It's much better.
Coast Road.
Yeah, so
Where is
literally
Which
you're going,
is
you're
go
literally
past
following.
woodlands and you go to Zaru and all that.
Yeah, you're
you
going.
go
you're
along
going.
the coast.
You're following Malacca and you're driving up that way, not straight on the highway.
I went to
Yes.
Desaru to play golf. I don't know whether the driver took that route. I fell off to sleep.
Yeah, so there you go. You're not sure.
Hey, we've arrived.
But you would have taken the Tuas
Yeah, I did-
checkpoint, right? Yeah,
get there
that's
fast and take it slow.
easier.
Yeah.
That's easier that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd
I
be nice.
don't particularly like road trips anymore. I think because maybe as a kid, right, I used to take so many road trips because my grandparents are from Pontian.
Ah, okay.
So, I mean, years ago, I just felt like
And you didn't
every time we made a trip to Pontian, right, it took us hours to get there. Although it's Johor, Pontian is
close
Johor.
enough,
but maybe
yeah.
the old route, this was before the
highway.
Yeah.
the what do you call the second link
Yes,
and,
yeah.
and all that. So it always seemed like hours and hours on the road. And at the time, no aircon.
You got to
it's-
wind the window down.
Yeah, sometimes my father didn't drive, we'd take a taxi.
Oh my gosh,
things
those
like that.
yellow
And-
taxis.
Yeah. I don't know whether it was yellow. I can't
I
remember
think it
the
was
color
yellow
of
and
the
black.
taxi.
Black and
from,
yellow.
Black and yellow, yeah.
But as a result of that, right? I mean, these days I don't get motion sickness or anything like that. I mean, that was the good thing. These days, many people have motion sickness because when they're kids, they don't get exposed to
with
these sort of
the
things.
road trips, yeah.
But as a result of the hundreds and hundreds of these road trips,
You got tired of it.
to Pontian, these days, I don't like road trips anymore. I rather fly everywhere. So even
But road trips are
even KL, right? I
fun.
don't drive up anymore. I just
Fly.
I just
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah, the only reason I know the Malaysian Coast Road is I lived in Penang for 6 years, and every Christmas we would drive down. For
You go by the
Christmas,
coastal road.
and we do the
Oh,
coastal.
that's very
road.
nice.
And in those days, cars were not as powerful as today, so it was like a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
How long
From
would it take
Penang.
now? How long did it take you to drive up to KL in your
5 hours.
16-year-old car?
No, actually, it was okay because I went on a Monday. I think Monday.
The
8
drive
a.m. or
itself,
So the
without
drive itself
the-
was 3.5
Oh,
hours.
that's good.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Speeding.
Yeah.
No. 110, sir.
Okay, and
okay.
you're allowed to go to that.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
Speed limit.
Yeah, that's the speed limit.
And
yeah.
also, that was before the school holiday.
Yes.
So
Oh,
that's
that's
why.
true.
That was part of
Yeah.
the cunning plan.
Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah, but I mean, I was just thinking actually one important. I mean, in my experience was that I drove up alone, but I think maybe for road trips, for some, actually the company is really important
It
as well, right?
is. It is.
Yeah, having the right people or the wrong people can make or break the trip.
So you went out with the whole group, lah.
I went alone.
He went
so-
alone, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
I thought you. Okay, wait, hold on. We'll go back on air. Last talk set. Okay. Demi Lovato featuring Joe Jonas. This is me right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. We have with us senior transport correspondent at the Straits Times, Nian Tjoe, who went for his trip to KL last week.
Yeah, a little road
Very
trip.
wise to go up there before
Before the
the
school
start
holidays.
of the holidays.
Well, speaking of the school holidays, lots of people are still making road trips up to KL. I mean, the holidays end this Sunday. What are some of the tips that you can provide them with before they embark on that journey?
Before coming into the studio, I checked that it's still at about a 1.5 to 2 hour jam to
Okay.
clear the customs.
Right.
Wow.
And that's
Yeah.
only on one side or both sides?
I believe this is just on the Singapore
side,
yeah.
okay.
Hard to
Okay.
say, but just prepare for the worst in that regard. Really important thing to consider if you're doing this road trip on this crazy week, right? Is that because at the end it's school holidays, I think the children depending on the age, how to keep them entertained. So one potential trick, I mean, if you're sitting in a jam, I guess staring at a screen is probably the easy way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about playing games?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's a lot of intelligence, a lot of knowledge out there where you can play road trip games if you're sitting
For sure.
stationary.
Yeah.
I think that comes back to if you think about it, in our daily lives, we don't really spend that much time with our children, with our family. Well, here you have this beautiful, perfect storm where you're going to sit in a car
For
at
3
least-
hours.
for 3 hours before you leave Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Then I really would think that you should kind of think about what you're going to do in that time.
So be prepared
Yep.
with those games as well.
Or quiz lah. How about that?
quiz.
Yeah, quiz.
Play
Yeah.
liar.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
yeah.
which came first?
Yeah.
Yeah, or I spy my little eye.
Gosh, I used to play that all the time.
I
yeah.
still do.
I spy my little eye.
Right? Something beginning with.
I spy with my little eye. Something starting with the letter H.
Hat.
Yeah!
Didn't even have to ask him any questions.
Well done. Only because I knew you have to sign off first.
You made it easy.
Okay, so Nian Tjoe, I mean, what's the latest article that you've written, perhaps?
Actually, just yesterday,
Okay.
which goes out to print, which is in print today,
Okay.
is that we have news of the public transport industry is actually going to get more positions, as in because of the expansion.
Right, okay.
So it's a growth sector,
Okay.
as far as we can see. Well, the rail network is really growing now.
Okay.
In the next couple of years, you're going to get the Jurong Region line, the Cross Island line. So things that are really the point of getting around. I mean,
Right.
oftentimes I've been known as a car guy, but really when you think about transport, there are different ways to get from one point to the next. And this is one of those developments. And oftentimes, besides supporting all these things of us getting a train, tapping in, tapping out, is people that are working in there. This is, it's a good development.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really get that so much in recent weeks and months, but I think this is a good thing.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
very
that's
soon you
true.
should interview the man with the master plan, Mr. S.
Iswaran.
Yes, I want to make a date with him.
So we won't call you the car guy anymore. We'll call you the transport guy.
There you
Changing
go.
your term.
And speaking of S. Iswaran, maybe we should get him on the show as
I
well.
think we
very soon.
should. We'll
It's
give
been
him a
while.
call.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been a while. Okay, thank you very much, Nian Tjoe, for joining us.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, we've been speaking to Nian Tjoe, who is the senior transport correspondent at the Straits Times. Coming up, headline news and sports.
The Big Show with Glenn.